Ladies and gentlemen, we're running behind schedule. If we're not careful, our dinner would get too cold. So we need to redouble our speed. And without wasting time, I want us to move swiftly to our next presentation, which is going to be on how is the low-cost landscape evolving and what are the key trends emerging when it comes to predicting demand, digital transformation, general AI, supply chain issues, and passenger experience. And who better to deliver this presentation than the Chief Executive Officer of Jambojet, Mr. Karanja Ndegwa. I think our clapping is reducing. Huh? Can we do better? Thank you, thank you. Thank you very much. So you have the green is going forward. If you want to go back the red. Okay. 20 minutes.
Thank you, Rafael. From Jambojet, it's an honor just to be here to share our experience as Jambojet when it comes to the low-cost model. And this year, Jambojet, we celebrated 11 years since inception. It has been a time whereby we had to educate our customers the difference between the legacy and the things that you are going through as Jambojet. And just to go straight, I know this has been shared from a number of areas, but I will want to pick one figure. With 2% of the global air traffic, we can see that Africa, we still have market access barriers, which we've talked about when it comes to SATAM. And that still remains high. But within the region, you can tell we are still about 9% in Africa in terms of the total number of passengers flown by LCC. But when you compare it with Europe and Asia, they've exceeded the 30% mark. So you can see from this landscape, I know Maureen had earlier shown that map that had the number of, and the way there were very few aircraft flying in Africa. The perspective that you see is the north, there are two, Air Arabia, then I know in Tanzania, FastJet is not there, but you have Jambojet in Kenya, FastJet in Zimbabwe, and the Lift and Surf Air in South Africa. So you can see it's a market that is not fully covered, and most of this, apart from Air Arabia that crosses to Europe and Asia, you find all the others are domestic or regional airlines. So we can tell there is a lot that has not been covered within Africa. And the purpose of LCCs, we are called upon to make it affordable and accessible. We're able to connect regions that are not accessible. We are supposed to open Africa further. And when you look at why LCCs, I know from previous why quite a number of airlines were going for LCC and how we are able to keep our costs low. It's most of us maintain one type of equipment. Second is a distribution. You find the website is a big channel for the LCCs, data-driven, the partnership, innovation, the customer experience, and I'll share more as we move to. We took this from CITA, and this tells us more about what we are seeing, what we're expecting, and what we are seeing. And what CITA has indicated here is that there are 12 key trends that will shape the travel industry in the next decade. And you can tell there are societal trends, there's the travelers, the economic, and the technological. But allow me just to pick on the ones that have the high impact and the immediate, because as 2024, we have the mega trends that are happening. Like, for example, you're seeing a lot of the shifting staff culture and the gig economy. There is generative AI, which I'll also share more in what we are seeing. We are seeing the millennial and the Gen Z travelers. We are seeing, when we do a survey every year, we try to listen to what is the customer saying, where are we? And when you look at we are seeing more being, there is more independence, and they're becoming more and more, because the average traveler for when it comes to Jambojet is about 32 years. So you can tell the number, half of the our customers are below 32 years. And so we are seeing more. Sustainability is becoming a big aspect that we have to consistently put. And there is the urban, the UAMs, and the electric vehicles. What we are seeing also, I can see Rwanda is way ahead of Africa when it comes to this. Find one of the biggest competition is not within airlines, it is road transport. Like, for example, in Kenya, Nairobi, Mombasa, people cover, you find they have about 1,000 people who are, more than 1,000 people who are traveling every day by road, and more than 1,000 by train. And yet for flying, they will take about 8 hours, but for flying it will be about 1 hour. But the thing is that still remains the biggest competition to the airline, other than the airline industry in full. So there's a lot to do. So and the others are aspects that are going to come later by 2030. But we found this to cover that had been done by CITA. It covered most of the things that as low-cost carriers, when it comes to AI, when it comes to technology, our digital platforms, which I'll also share where we are and what we are seeing in the low-cost model. Just to pick this, for data precision, this was done by Up Inventive, and they identified 10 areas that drive data within the airline industry that have become very key for you to consider and to take into account to quickly be in a place whereby you can make decisions, because the cost of doing business is high. And if you can be quite accurate in your decision making, you'll save a lot, so that your chances of making the right decisions are quite high, and that lowers your costs, because you will be on point when it comes to the decisions. So there's a lot of machine learning whereby we are using this. Like, for example, in the revenue management system that we are using, it predicts, it can tell us the seasons. It can, because we have the annual seasons, like in Kenya, we know April, July, August, November, December are high seasons. But we also have weekly seasons, which are Fridays, flights are full, Sunday, but also we also have a daily season. The very first flights and the last flight are very key to us. So out of that, the system is able to predict, and we use it a lot in our revenue management, in the flight forecasting, so we know which days are we supposed to deploy less. For us, we see out of the aircraft that we have, we plan that every Tuesday and Wednesday is when the maintenance is done. That's when the A-checks are done. Any aircraft with ADDs, those are the days that we make sure that they are being addressed on Saturday afternoons, because historically, the systems have shown us the demand is very low during this time, but that doesn't happen during the high season, but specifically we're able even now to manage different aspects and to know when should we deploy maximum capacity to maximize. There is also the predictive maintenance. All those, we put all those aspects in the systems and be able to see why is this part failing. We're able to quickly go back to our maintenance organizations and stock that item as we try to resolve, because we see during these times of the year, during the high season, during the rainy season, these parts fail. So they should never get you grounded that you don't have those parts. During the hot season, there are specific parts that end up failing. So the thing is that which are these? We ensure that we have enough stock to do our predictive maintenance. It also helps us in the tactical planning, in the cost reduction, because out of this, we're able to buy our spares, not on AOG basis, but normal and stock appropriately quite early. But also one aspect that we have to keep looking at as low-cost carriers is the improved passenger experience. I tell you, if you don't serve your customers well, they will look elsewhere. And I have a page there that tells us more about and what we are doing about customer experience. But for the low-cost carriers, we find ourselves getting to markets that are very price-sensitive and markets that you can easily stimulate. And I'll give an example. There are markets like Nairobi, Diani, when Jambojet started, we used to have about 40,000 passengers a year. But by getting into that market, today that market has about 350,000 passengers. And it is just going in, stimulating. Eldoret used to have about 200,000 passengers. Today, it is about, last year it was about 555. So you see, you get into markets that you're able to get in, stimulate, grow the market, because one of the aspects that airlines feel like, oh, this airline is coming to take my market share. The thing is that get in, work together, and stimulate. So those are the areas that we find ourselves getting into more. This one, we also took it from CITA and BCC, and these are the areas that airlines are investing. I'll just pick the first four. The OCC operations, that's bringing in operational excellence. How are you able to recover quickly? For us, we maintain one type of equipment. We're able to quickly move around our trainings, all our pilots, all our cabin crew, all the maintenance staff are all trained in one aircraft. It becomes quickly you become able to automate and bring in operational excellence. There is also the IT infrastructure, the cloud services, that also lowers our costs, and the maintenance, aircraft maintenance, data collection. But what we are seeing is that 90% of global airlines are digitizing key customer touchpoints. And Visa was here indicating which are these areas. And what we have seen is initially we were taking that customer experience is in terms of ground services or sales. But you find from the time one makes a decision when to buy, how to buy, that online platform that they are using, that becomes their first experience. Make it as simple and well understood and well guided so that anyone can book. You find out of this, we've been able to move. If you look at, from the Jambojet's point of view, in the previous panel, it was said that in Africa, online penetration has been quite low. But here, I can quickly state that's not the case, because for us, 78% of our customers are using the web and the app. And out of that, when it comes to payments, 56% are using M-PESA. So everyone has the M-PESA. And 21% are on cards. That's the Visa and the MasterCard. So you find out of that, out of the phone and everything, we can be able to say about 77% of our payments are using both mobile and card. And you find most of this is through the web. 38% is online. It's still something that you're working on to make sure that at least we can improve, just to make it seamless. Because as you look at the airports, we are getting to a point whereby the airport is becoming smaller. The infrastructure is not sufficient. So we also have tools like for disruption management that we use. Our pilots use the EFB. That helps also in the fuel monitoring and quickly, because fuel to us cuts about 24% of our costs. So it's something that is costing you about 24%. You must invest in a way that you're able to closely monitor, but also operate in the very best way. That alone, by having that, it brought in some savings of about 4% by managing it and monitoring it, bringing in sustainability into place. There are different ways that we have worked on it, and last year we were able to move it from 4 to 6% savings when it comes to automating that. There's also the passenger communication and feedback, because once the customer, there is the booking window, that is, then there is the airport experience, then there is the onboard experience, and after that passenger leaves. How are you able to engage them? That's where the loyalty program comes in. Those are all the different touch points. Even the maintenance, they are asked, what is my contribution to that passenger experience? I need to make sure that the cabin is clean. I need to make sure that the aircraft is available. And each and every, you have to ensure that everyone knows, no matter where you are, be it strategy, be it IT, make sure that the systems are up all the time. That becomes your contribution to that passenger experience. So one of the things that we keep asking everyone, in your KPIs, tell me what your contribution to the customer is. And it has to be tangible. I will make sure the systems are available 100%. I'll make sure that the aircraft is clean. The cabin is clean, all parts are available. The stores people is to make sure out of predictive, all the parts are purchased on time. So everyone has to state what their contribution is towards the customer. So for us, the customer experience continues, and then there's also sustainability. And also, it's not only the going green, but it's also, you also have to have the economic sustainability. You don't want to have a business that is there today, but tomorrow is not there. How are you able to consistently make a profit? Ensure that you have enough cash to run the business for you to be there tomorrow. How do you work closely with your suppliers to make sure that at least you are able to, both of you, able to benefit and your business it continues? Allow me just to skip the employee experience, because we normally say it's about people, customers, and sustainability and profits, and then profits will follow. We use a lot of e-learning, that is through LinkedIn. Also some of the courses we've taken them online. That also reduces the time of up and down, but also improves quite a number. So in a nutshell, this is what as Jambojet we have done in terms of digital transformation. Those are the statistics that we keep looking at. And when it comes to potential, when it comes to AI, we've allowed the machines to learn the trends. And out of that, they're able to forecast. They're able to learn about what we are seeing, the customer behavior, the equipment's behavior. And out of that, we are able, areas that have huge, it's about maintenance. We are able to have that competitive advantage. But also AI can also, there are instances that it has been unethically being used. So how do we ensure that it is ethically used, the point whereby, and that is beneficial both to the customer and to the organization as a whole. These are our next steps that we are looking at. We are in that process of automating more and more in terms of our disruptions. We ensure that we have very minimal disruptions, but also predictive customer engagement, That's something that we are working on. But these are areas that we're also learning. We keep listening, seeing what is this that other organizations are doing, and we try also learn a lot from them, because it's out of that we're able to keep moving. I would pick, this is my second last page. I picked because customer experience is quite big, and we've picked quite a number of quotes, but allow me just to pick 3. This came from the company that does our annual customer survey, and that is Kantar. And if I take that, the first one, that loyal customers are 5 times more likely to purchase again and 4 times more likely to refer a friend to the company. One of our biggest, we have, by last year, our top customer had flown over 200 times last year. That is someone who is sold out. When he comes, he's known by name. The top 10 customers are known by name. And even if when they're expected, they will be called and asked, Mr. So-and-so, Mr. So, where are you? We are about to close. They are known by staff. I normally sometimes go to the airport just to have a coffee with them, because these are the people will believe them more than believing me. And we say they are our employees number 1, because they bring in customers more than even we customers, we ourselves. The second one that I would also want to bring is the second one in the middle, the one in the middle, the third column. Companies that use tools like customer journey or journey maps reduce their costs of service by 15 to 20%. But the next one was 96% of customers say that customer service is important in their choice of loyalty to a brand. Allow me to touch on profits. Customer-centric companies are 60% more profitable than companies that don't focus on customers. And the one above it states that companies that lead in customer experience outperform laggards by nearly 80%. I keep asking myself, are we laggards? How do we move ahead and make sure that we are ahead, we are listening to the customer? Because if we don't listen to the customer, we should do something else. We normally say safety and the customer. So those are 2 aspects that we must always keep looking at. And as a low-cost carrier, customer experience becomes one of the key items that we keep drumming every other day. I know my 20 minutes are over, but just one item. From the last year's survey that we did, the top 5 things that the customers say that are of most that they require and they want to see are these 5. But if you look at this cost, they say the price matters to them. But if you look at number 2, customer service, easy booking process, past experience, those 3 all touch on customer experience. So in a nutshell, it's not even cost. But if you take these 3 items, they are all touching on customer experience. And the customer are saying, these matter to me. And if as the airlines, our low-cost carrier, if we don't listen to the customer, this is what the customer is telling us, then we're in big trouble. Someone is going to come in, and the next thing we'll be asking, what hit us? What hit us is because we do not listen to the customer. So for us, those are the 5 top items that we are looking at, we are measuring, and the last one is convenient schedule. But if you look at all these items, apart from cost, everything else is about the customer experience. Most of these items is about customer experience. And we try our very best to avoid canceling flights. we manage in case we see that we have an aircraft that, for example, we've been struggling with engines, just like every other. But when we realize that next month we still have, next 3 weeks we'll have an aircraft, we will manage our schedule today. We will remove those flights today, not a day before, not a week before, just to make sure that customers will not go to the airport. We've invested in a system whereby in case there is a delay, you will get a message and you'll be told, don't come at 10, come at noon. That helps us to manage the situation. So those were the key driving factors, the reasons why they choose an airline. Allow me, this is just what is happening today to everyone, just the global supply chain challenges, pressure, and this is not only for the low cost, but for everyone. There is pressure on expansion plans, and even noting that we're operating in in an expensive environment, but we are able to manage. We can manage. We can make the businesses sustainable. We will keep at it, but as low-cost carriers in Africa, our growth is quite high because we end up having a double-digit annual growth. When an airline is growing by about 15% every year, that can tell that is good growth. Because we don't have so much capital, we find ourselves growing with one aircraft every year. That's where the 12 to 15% comes in. So allow me to stop. Unless there's anyone with a burning question, yeah. If none, thank you, and it was a pleasure.